Good evening and welcome to Hello, It's Us, a program that tries to push the belief that things are better when it's us as opposed to you, me, and them. Hello, It's Us is brought to you by collaborations between the Center for Disabilities and Development, the Extended Dream Foundation, and all the folks here at Public Access Television Channel 18 who help us do what we do. We're back again with some of the folks from the Best Buddies program at City High and my friend Keith Ruff. You guys want to introduce yourself again for folks who may be joining in?
I'm Molly Powell-Littler. I'm the president at City High Best Buddies.
I'm Matt Lee. I'm the treasurer at City High Best Buddies.
I'm Aaron Powham again, and I'm the leader in Survival and Best Buddies.
I'm Leah Pontalong, and I'm the vice president of Best Buddies.
Okay. As we ended the last program, we were talking about expectations and what kind of expectations people have of folks with disabilities and whether those can kind of become self-fulfilling. And one of the things that Keith and I have observed through the years is that somebody who doesn't have a disability can try something and fail over and over and over and over and over until they finally get it right, and that's no big deal. Somebody with a disability has to prove they can do something before they get a chance to try it. And through the years, as I've talked to parents and that, it's like, why the separate requirements for two kids, you know?
Right.
Are you going to make sure that, you know, the non-disabled kid who moves out is perfectly able to take care of himself and his apartment and all this? Or are you just going to let him go out and, you know, get kicked out of the first couple places because he's a slob and has to bring all his laundry home, and he comes home for meals and to raid the kitchen? And but if you have a child with disability, how do they prove that they can? And, you know, it's just a matter of letting them do it. You know, and as you're there for a non-disabled child to support if they fail, you do the same thing. Mm-hmm. But that's the only way that people get a chance. After my freshman year in college, I went back to the hospital for a routine checkup and decided I was going to get my driver's license again. So I came home on a Friday and said, okay, I have to go back Sunday and I'm going to take driver's ed. Surprise, surprise, no ticker tape parades or balloons at that announcement, but my folks understood why I had to do it.
Right. Because
I had to find out if, for transportation down the road, I was going to be able to drive something, or if I was going to have something that somebody else could drive. Mm-hmm. And through the years, there's been countless of those little things that, you know, you have to try. And everybody has to try it, but folks with disabilities, it's just a bigger deal. But with support, everything happens. You know, and in talking to folks after that, once they actually do that a couple times, they realize that, you know, it wasn't a sign of the apocalypse, that the world didn't stand still, you know, but the person either succeeded or they had to try a couple times or try an alternate way to do things. And I think a lot of those things are what you guys are kind of cutting a lot of the arguments out of to let people have chances.
Yeah, we try to have a bunch of different events just to show, because people have different strengths, people have different personalities, people have different interests. So, for example, this week we're having a video games night because we have lots of members who like playing video games.
I don't.
I know you don't, but we'll have a movie too. But I mean, it's just I don't understand why people are so fixated on whether someone can do something or not, especially like you were saying when somebody has a disability. I couldn't do math to save my life. I'm awful at math no matter how hard I try. Awful. But somebody, for example, who may have a disability could do math all day, any type of problem, no problem. Why is it such a big deal that they could do it and what's the difference? What does it matter? Everyone has different strengths and weaknesses. So like you said, people are just so fixated on that.
And they're also fixated on the little mistake.
Mm-hmm.
If we make a mistake, the sky is gonna fall.
Mm-hmm.
If any one of you make the same mistake, no one cares.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, but that's true. Yeah.
I'm just helping.
Oh no, I appreciate it.
Well, what kind of things do you do and surprise people that you can do it?
Me? Oh, she's talking to me.
He's talking to you. Well, you just had that swimming event yesterday that you got.
Oh yes, I do Special Olympic swimming.
Very good.
Yes.
Tell me about how you did yesterday.
Well, I got first place for my butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
And I got another first place for my I am.
It's really exciting, Aaron.
Yes, and I got my third ribbon. We got second place.
Do you think that sometimes people think that you can't do something like that because you have a disability? Do you ever think people
I don't
think
know what disability means.
That's
Make sure I'm not.
That's all, that's all I
About
feel.
your abilities, right?
right.
That's what we focus on.
Oh, thank you, Leia.
But are people surprised you can do as well as you can?
Yes, I can.
Aaron also likes to be on stage.
I do.
People are surprised at that, how social she is.
What are some of the musicals you were in at City High?
Well, the plays I've been in was the first one. I was in Peter Pan. I was a mermaid.
She was a mermaid. She was a great mermaid.
Oh, thank you, Molly.
Definitely the best mermaid.
Matt. In my second play, I was in Vaudeville Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I was a flapper.
Oh.
Yes. And my third play, I did lots of plays with Janet. I say her last name.
Yeah,
For combined efforts.
For combined efforts.
Combined efforts. And I'm also doing a dance. I'm doing a dance.
Yep, so you have lots of talent.
Yes, I do.
She does have lots of talent.
Very cool.
But I have another talent.
What's that?
I want to become a dancer.
Oh yeah, you'd be good at that.
But my favorite dancer to be is Irish.
You like Irish dancing?
Yes.
So no? Yeah. What did you do?
Ha-ha. Yes.
But it is. And it makes you feel really good when you do that stuff, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Well,
It helps me focus.
that's one of the things that getting out there and doing it, you're not only showing people that you can do it, but you're showing them that other folks with disabilities can do it too.
Yes, I can.
And that is always very interesting. And it amazes me that the simplest things can impress people tremendously. I
Yeah.
used to go to a 5:15 Mass at my church on Tuesday afternoons. It was one of those, there was probably 12 of us there. It was done by 5:45, and beforehand the priest would always come out to pick who was going to read, and it finally came my day, and I said, can't hold a mic and do this at the same time. So he turned around and came back with a stand, and a few weeks later had a wireless mic. And you know, I had grown up in Catholic school from kindergarten through my junior year, so you know, reading from the Bible was not that big a deal. But afterwards, all 12 people there came over and were just amazed that I could get up and speak to a crowd. I had almost that many people at my dinner table growing up. So this was not nearly as spooky as showing up to a high school thing in Des Moines with 300 kids who somebody had told I was bringing a movie.
Right.
I didn't have a movie. But, you just doing something, okay, so I could read.
Yeah.
and that was it. And as I went to bigger masses, people said stuff. And it just, it takes so little to impress people, but to unlock that idea that folks with disabilities automatically have limitations. And it's not true. So, if we can be out doing things that cause people to start thinking about that, that opens doors for other people. And it's kind of the whole pay it forward idea. Because somebody years ago advocated and did things so that I'm allowed to do things, so we do it so other people can.
I remember one time we had open gym for soccer. We were in soccer, and we were scheduled to be inside of a gym around the time where Special Olympics basketball is ending, but they weren't quite done yet, so a few of our teammates went in and played with basketball with some of the Special Olympics basketball players. And I remember some of our teammates, weren't in best buddies, weren't exposed a lot to people with disabilities, but
There was a few of them in it.
and we started playing, and they're kind of going easy, but we got creamed. And at the end, they were like trying hard, but we still got creamed. And that was one of the most fun times I've had, and it was good seeing that.
I just had to laugh because people were like, "Oh, they're so good at basketball," and I'm like, "What did you think? They're on the team. What do you think they're going to be good at?" Like, it was embarrassing.
Olympics is important for some people, like me, because I'm in it.
Yes, and you're important.
Yes, I am, Molly.
I look forward to the day when people can accept us doing ordinary things and not making a big deal of it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think people have this standard for people who have disabilities. They just assume that they can't do things, and so, like you were saying, when they do things, it's this, like the sky is falling. I mean, it's just normal things that people are just so excited about, which is great. It's nice to be supportive and all that, but be supportive at times when they need you to be supportive. This is like you were saying, you're reading scripture, you're fine.
Well, and I mean, it's like it's been in every other part of civil rights. Black folks went through the whole thing of it. You can't do it. Women went through it. Folks with disabilities, different ethnic groups. It's always that label because something's different or somebody is different. That, gracious, you can't be the same.
And now gay people are going through.
It's always going to be a constant struggle, and there's always going to be people who are trying to push us back, but hopefully we're going towards the direction where more of the general population will be on our side.
Unfortunately, there's no funding for Best Buddy programs. There's no mandated fundings at the federal level or at the state level. So as a result, you guys have to do a variety of fundraisers.
Right.
Which is a pain.
It's difficult. So we have bake sales. We do some bake sale every. It's okay. We have to raise money for ourselves, which is which is okay, but it's difficult when you're also trying to plan events and other things. So upcoming this year, we have a few events that we're going to have to try to help fundraise for our chapter. Is it?
Like, what?
We have a talent show coming up.
May 4th in Offset.
It's at City High School.
City High School in the auditorium, Offset Auditorium. We also have...
Is that the Broadway Buddies?
Yeah,
Yes.
Buddies on Broadway.
Yeah.
It's going to be really great.
We'll have a lot of different acts for that. A lot of different people are coming in to perform. A lot of different people from our school. It's going to be pretty good. And then 21st.
Is it the 21st?
Yeah, Friendship Walk.
Friendship Walk.
Yeah.
Iowa City's having a... We're bad at this.
Yeah.
Iowa City's having a friendship walk. Usually Des Moines has a friendship walk, the state Best Buddies program. People raise money to go in this walk, and it just funds the state, and then the state helps pay for individual chapters like ours. So luckily enough, we're having one in Iowa City on the 21st. So hopefully there'll be some information about that, how people can help sign up. You don't even have to participate in the walk. You can just donate to Best Buddies specifically.
Yeah, luckily our chapter actually has like a lot more funding than other ones, but I know it's hard for, other schools, like maybe smaller schools, to raise money to start a chapter because you have to have a certain amount of money to like officially become a chapter in Best Buddies.
Yeah.
And there's also like dues you have to pay each year.
There's certain chapter fees that the state requires just to help the state continue to function and to help smaller chapters like us.
Yeah, but it's hard to ask for money year-round all the time, which is, see, we sound like a broken record. We're always like, we need money.
But the thing with that is, with the economy and with budgets being cut, it's not just you. I think there are 4 or 5 different walks this month, and it just seems like every time you turn around, somebody's got to do something. And how do you prioritize? And it's just.
Well, personally, I prioritize Best Buddies, but I'm a little bit biased. But I think that it's just whatever you feel is important enough for you. I know there's several different events going on, but you also have to remember that Best Buddies is some really great things. I'm sure other organizations obviously do also. That's why they are there. But we are a student-run organization, so we really struggle for funding. It's not like any of us can write up a grant or two or donate from our bank account. That's all for college there. So.
And it's really sad, though, the number of organizations related to individuals with disabilities who get no funding. Well,
Right.
Special Olympics don't really get funding. Epilepsy doesn't get a whole lot of funding. MS Society, Best Buddies, there just are so many worthy programs out there that, somebody needs to win the lottery and start making some big donations.
That will be me.
You know, win the lottery?
Yes.
You're gonna give some of them.
I am.
Are you really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'd be so
Yeah,
happy.
but you can't do that for several years yet.
I will when I'm 18.
There you go.
There you go.
Enough fundraising is a big part of any organization that, any sort of nonprofit. But in my opinion, Best Buddies has been just as important in my own development in high school as any individual sports team or music program or even some of my classes. It's just as important as those things. And I feel like if we get that kind of message out there, that it's important in the development of the students and as important members in society, that it's an important part of that it would be more people would be more likely to help fund these programs, these organizations.
I think you really need to talk to legislators. And the legislators in the Johnson County area are really, really tuned into helping folks with disabilities, and I think would be open to helping things. I would recommend that you personally send them invitations to the things you just mentioned, because, well, they see a lot of stuff. You guys may have some really special talent that will grab their
At our
ear.
talent show.
And I have no talent, but Eric can
But,
sing.
you know,
Well, thank you.
it's the start, you know,
Yes, it is.
and those are the people who approve the money to write the checks.
Yep.
And unfortunately, if you plan on living much in the nonprofit world, consider this an internship, because you know, there's a whole lot of asking for money coming up.
Yep.
Struggle.
I realize organizations like this need money. We all do. But I think when it concerns people with a disability, it kind of gives the wrong connotation. But we're always needing help. And I'm not saying money doesn't help, but the IQ public thinks we're more needy if we're constantly raising money.
That's true. And I think a big part for us is the money that we raise isn't specifically to pay for helping someone who has a disability. It pays for events. It pays for us getting to go out into the community and going out to eat and going
Having fun.
and having fun. And like Matt was saying,
Enjoy yourself.
right? Like Matt was saying, it develops character. It develops a sense of community. We're not helping people with disabilities. We're helping each other as human beings. We're spending time together. We're creating equality.
And it's not just the people with disabilities we're helping.
Yeah.
Sure.
I've been helped so much from this program.
Including me.
Yeah, we've both been helped a lot.
And I'm not putting that down. I think it's
yeah.
a great idea. But the average IQ public doesn't look at it that way.
Right.
Well, and that's why it's good to invite people to things,
Right.
Like
because
basketball.
yeah, because unlike when somebody's going to build a new building, and after it's done, people can go and see and decide, yeah, that was a good use of tax
That's a
money.
good investment.
You know, it's like they need to see
Right.
why them investing in Best Buddies is a good thing.
Right.
And you know, seeing a performance, seeing somebody win swimming, seeing somebody win basketball, seeing somebody act, you know, these are all things that, as we talked about earlier, are going to impress people mightily because of who's doing it. And to hear their voices as to what they get out of it, in addition to what you guys and other students have to say, it's much harder to say no to somebody when you're looking them in the eye
Right.
than it is if you're just sending them an email or
Yeah.
that. And you know, legislators will tell you that all the time.
Right.
And it doesn't take that much correspondence or contact to move things up on the list. You know, we've been told that, you know, you get one email or one letter, okay. You get 2 or 3, and this is interesting. You know, you get 4 or 5, and they start asking their staff to start checking things out.
Right.
And you get up to 10, and that's reached the level of this is a hot topic.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you've got 100 and whatever people in the Best Buddies program, and all of them contacted the local legislators telling that money needs to be appropriated for the Best Buddies program, and why, and listing examples of how that's helped people. That does lots of things.
Right.
Or to request, once the session's over, a meeting with them.
And it would
Let the folks talk to them.
And it would help because today's society is more result oriented. They want to see results.
Well, we are providing results. We'll just have to expose them.
Have to show 'em.
Yes.
We have a couple minutes left. You guys have
I
any last
would
comments
like
you want to
to
make?
share
What would you like to share?
something about Best Buddies.
Okay, better hurry up. We only have a couple minutes.
I'm trying. For Best... Stop looking at me. You know what I'm going to say. For Best Buddies, sometimes we have dances and parties at Silly High, but sometimes you guys can chill, do like game nights, movie nights, and you can join, but you must have more fun time.
Okay. I'd like to say to get involved and don't ignore
People.
the issues we have to face today. Yes.
Like, do not know people.
Do not ignore people.
Do not ignore.
It's a good message.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly want to thank you guys for coming,
Thank you for having us.
and
Thanks.
would like to invite you all this week. We're having the Bill Sachter Centennial. Bill was a guy who the coffee shop upside and Wild Bill's was named for, spent 40-some years in an institution, came to Iowa City, and worked in the coffee shop there. The person he came to Iowa City with wrote a story about him that they made a movie out of. Bill and Mickey Rooney played Bill, and Dennis Quaid played Barry. They made another movie, Bill on His Own. Then a third that was Bill, A Friend in Need. And they'll be showing those movies upstairs this week. On Saturday, starting at 10 o'clock a.m., we will be having a new band and a new cake every hour. At noon, we're going to have the I knew that'd get you. Have the official cake. We're trying to get 100 harmonica players to come play Happy Birthday. So we would certainly extend an invitation to you and all the folks at Best Buddies to
We
come
appreciate
along.
it.
We'll spread the word.
Thanks, everybody, for being out
Yeah.
there. Take it easy, Keith.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah. For Best Buddies.